Hey there, I'm your host Lisowi, and in this series I'll show you how to create a merchant system. So let me demonstrate how this all works. I'll pick up some money and then go to the trader over here, press E to interact. Now over here, let's say I wanted to buy 3 of these regular potions. I can right click and select the slider to be 3, and 3 of these potions are going to cost me 120. So that means 40 each. Now I can right click here and use the slider, or type it in manually for 120, hit enter, and now we have the offer equals the trader's offer. So how the accept button works is that if the player offer is greater or equal to the trader's offer, it'll go through. Now, let's say I wanted to buy 5 of these potions for 300, and we only gave him 290. So in this case, this won't go through because the value is less. So let's add in our 60. Now we have 50 over, and it'll go through. So that was our quick demonstration. Now, if you've watched my videos in the past, you know I've built interaction systems, inventory systems. So in this series, we'll cover everything from scratch except the saving system, because all of the other inventory videos are so alike that you can use any of them to create the saving system. So that said, let's begin with the tutorial. For this project, we're going to need some assets. So in the contents drawer, I've already made a folder called assets. In here, I have some icons, some item meshes, and some sound effects. So with that covered, the first thing we need to build is an interaction system so we can interact with our items. For that, we'll need to go into the third person folder, input, and create some inputs. So let's right click, go into input, input action, and let's start with the interact. So IA_interact. And we'll also need to be able to open up our inventory. So we can go ahead and create one more, IA_inventory, like so. Save it, go a folder back, open up the IMC_default, and let's make it full screen. Create a new mapping here. Let's start with interact, give it a key binding. So press this little keyboard here, select whatever key you like. So we'll do E. Another mapping, and we want the inventory. Now for this, I like to do both the tab key and I. So we'll click I, and there we have it. Once you're happy, save and exit. For this next part, we'll go ahead and create a new folder called UI. So let's do that. And inside, we want to create a new folder for our interaction system. We'll keep all of our inventory stuff here as well, all in one folder called UI. So in the interaction folder, let's open that. We want to create a new widget. So user interface, widget blueprint, user widget, WB_interaction UI or interact, whichever you prefer. Save it, open it. And once opened, let's add in a canvas panel. This will be our screen. We want a border. And let's add in a text into that border. So, and let's click on the border, anchor it on bottom down. So if you hold Control Shift and click any of these, it should snap to it. So there we are. We can also size to content and change the brush color to be black so we can see our text. And for position Y, let's just do an offset of like -100. This will do. And for the text itself, we can change the font to be size 18. And let's give a padding of, let's say, 60 and 20, just so there's some border around the text. Make the text variable so we can edit it. Call it txt_interact message. So once that's done, let's compile and save that. And let's go ahead and open up the graph. And in here, we want event construct. Let's bring that down. We don't need any of these. So from construct, we want to get this interact message and do a set text. So the very last one at the bottom. We'll connect that. And for the in text, we can promote this to a variable, call it message. Now, how this will be set for the text to work is we'll have another custom event, which we'll call, and this will be called set message. And if you get your message holding Alt, it should set it. And then we can drag this pin into our event, which will create an input automatically. And then this can go in here. And for the message that we have, depends if it's empty or not, we want to check is empty. And from here, we'll do then a set visibility, which is self, so it will affect this whole widget. And the condition will be a select. So in here, depending if the text is empty or not, if the text is empty, true, we want it to be collapsed, meaning takes up no space in the UI. If false, we want it to be visible, but not clickable. So we'll do not hit testable self and all children. And that's all we got to do here. Let's compile and save. Now for our UI in the designer, this looks a little boring. So we'll go into the content drawer, create a new folder into interaction called MUI. Now with MUI, this stands for Materials User Interface. We'll create a new material called M_interaction UI. We'll open that. And in here, we want to change the material to be from surface to user interface and blend mode to be translucent. Next, we'll right click to get a linear gradient. There we go. And with this, we want to get a multiply node twice. I'll show you why. We can open that up as well so we see what's happening. User U gradient will go in here. And we get this kind of one-sided gradient. Now, if we go ahead and do a 1 minus, this will invert it and we'll get it from both sides. Whoops, supposed to be so like that. And then this will just make the effect stronger, so the inner panel has a more strength, as translucent. And then we can connect this to the final and the opacity, and we get something like that. Let's hit apply and save. Exit. Go back in here, click on your border, brush, and we can apply our material, search for whatever you called it, and there we go. So that's the interaction UI part done. Compile and save. For this next part, we'll go ahead and create a new folder called interaction. And inside it, we want to create a new blueprint. So we'll go to blueprint called blueprint interface. BPI_interaction shall be the name. And let's open that up. Now in here, we'll need two main functions, one to interact and one to display the message of whatever item we're interacting with. So for functions, we'll do interact with. This doesn't need any inputs or outputs, but for our lookat function, we want to output the message of the interaction object we're looking at. So for outputs, we'll create a variable called message, and the type of the variable will be a text. So that's all. Let's compile and save. Exit that. And then we need to create a component. So we'll go to blueprint classes, select actor component, call it BPC, blueprint component underscore interaction. Let's save it and open it. Inside here, we want to go ahead and create a function called create interaction UI. And this will be the widget we made. So we'll do create widget. And the class is our interaction UI widget. So there we go. Let's promote a variable and let's call it our interaction UI or widget. And then we'll just add to viewport like so. And let's compile, save that. We can close this function. And the next function we need is the interaction itself. So the interaction trace. We'll call it interaction trace. So this will be the system that detects if we're interacting with something. Now we'll do a get owner. So the owner of this component. So to whomever we add this to, we'll do then a get actor location. And we want to create a sphere trace by channel. Now we could do a line trace by channel, but I feel this is more accurate for what we're going for. So with that, we'll connect this value to the start and the end. Now the radius is completely up to you. I find 80 works well. And we also need our own custom trace channel, would be nice. So for that, let's close this down, go to settings, project settings. And once this opens, we'll search for trace. So this allows you to create your own trace channels. So we'll collect or create one called interactive. And the default response, we want it to be ignore, because if it's blocked, that means we're actually hitting something. So we decide if we hit something or not. So back in here, if we compile that, should refresh, and then we have it, interactive. And we can test it. If you want to test if this is working, do for duration, and then you can switch it back to none. So we'll do a branch. And we want the output to do a break hit result. Now, how this will work is we want to check if the hit actor is does implement interface. And the interface we're checking for is the one we just created, PPI interaction. So if our actor that we've hit doesn't have it, we want to interact with it. And this should go into a branch. So B left mouse. Now, if it passes through the first check and through the second check, then we'll go ahead and promote this to a variable. And we can call it our target actor. Like so. And we can double click on these lines to reroute them, make this whole thing look pretty. So if it's false, we want to set this to be false. So we're looking at something, but it doesn't actually have a value. And same here. If it doesn't implement the interface, it'll still have no value. Only then if it has. And after that, let's see. We want to call that look at message from our interaction interface. And if that goes true, we have our interaction UI, which comes from the widget. We can do set message. And this is how the message system will work. Display everything. Now again, if they don't have anything, Control C, Control V, we want the message to be set to be empty, and therefore the system will not show your interaction widget. So like so, I think that's all for the moment. So let's compile and save this function, and let's close it down. Next, we'll go ahead and create a custom event in here on the event graph, call it begin interaction. And we'll do a set timer by event. Now you could also go by connecting your interaction trace to the event tick if you'd like. Now I prefer to create a set timer by event. That's personal choice. Now for the time, we'll do 0.2 looping. And then we need a second event called update interaction and connect the red box to the red box. Okay, so that's that. Then we need our interaction trace connected here. So this essentially works like your event tick, but we set a custom time how often this should run. So let's get rid of event tick. Put this in here, and then we need an event begin play. We need to set the interaction UI, because if we don't create it, we'll get an error because our reference won't actually exist. So we first need to create it, and then we call the interaction trace like that. Next, we want to go ahead and call our interaction input. So we have ia_interact, and we want to get our target actor and convert it to a validated get. So if it's not valid, we don't do anything. Now for the next part, we'll need a component that we don't currently have. So we'll go to the content drawer with a new folder called inventory. Inside it, we'll create another folder called item data. And I'm just doing it so everything's structured and it's where it's supposed to be. Now in here, we'll right click, blueprint class, actor component, ppc_item data. Now let's open it And for this component, we'll need to add in our interaction stuff. So implemented interfaces, API, interaction. Now we get the lookat and the interact with event. So file and save. We have this here. And we'll close it. We don't need it right now. Now in here, what we can do is we'll do get component by class. There we go. First one at the top. And we'll do VPC item data. Now, if this is valid, we want to make sure it's valid. If that's the case, we'll go ahead and we'll interact with. So we'll do this first one here, like so. And then if that's not valid, we'll just do the regular from the target actor. Get it? And do interact with. Here we go. And that should be our interaction system finished. So let's compile and save. So the last thing to do is to actually add this component to our player. So we'll open up the content drawer, go to third person, blueprints, our character, and we'll do VPC interaction. Let's compile and save that. So this is fully working. Now, of course, we don't have any objects to test this with. And we'll do that in the next episode. So this is it for the video. I hope you enjoyed. And if you did, leave a like. And as always, happy developing.